From unhinged corporate stunts to games themselves acting like they need therapy, April's been peak gaming chaos, let's say. And as you know, gameranx always puts together the weird stories of the month, drops them in the blender, and makes a nice little smoothie for you. You like smoothies, right? I mean, if you don't like smoothies, I'm gonna force feed you this smoothie one way or the other. So, hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the weird gaming stories of April 2025. Starting off with number 10, we got some Half-Life 3 leaks. Oh boy! So I've kind of been suspecting this since we got a Half-Life documentary from Valve. We've been getting little things that I don't know. But here's a new one. A concept artist with a name that is completely unpronounceable, who is currently working at Valve on a project called Deadlock, was doing an interview, and during which he said he had been in the room where they made Half-Life 3. He said he didn't witness active development, but observed the workspace, including computers and whiteboards, suggesting that the project was, or maybe even is, in some stage of development. Adding fuel to the fire, we also saw some unseen concept art from Dave McGreevy, who has a pronounceable name. It's got some destroyed ships on a cliff's edge, stuff like that. But further speculation arises from data mined references to HLX, which is what people believe to be the code name for Half-Life 3, which they've found in Dota 2 and Deadlock. They have strings that are related to HLX, so, interesting, right? I don't know. To me, they've been doing a lot of things that have reminded people that Half-Life exists. Not that people forgot, but Valve has been unusually talky about, the reason why we didn't do Half-Life 3 is blankety blank for a good year now. And it just keeps getting weirder. Moving on to number 9. So Schedule 1 is a huge hit. We all know this. This is not the weird element of the story. I'm just bringing that up because apparently there is a company called Movie Games SA, the publisher of a game called Drug Dealer Simulator, and they announced an investigation into Schedule 1 for potential infringement on their intellectual property, citing similarities in plot, mechanics, and user interface. This did not go well for Drug Dealer Simulator. Now, first off, announcing that you're investigating that the plot of two games in the same genre are similar, where neither game really has a plot other than to deal drugs. I mean, any plot elements are they're paper thin. They're an excuse. It's like Grand Theft Auto launching an investigation to see if Saints Row copied them. To be frank, it's dumb as shit, okay? Like, I don't even want to call it anything other than that. It makes me mad to even think about because that's such a stupid weaponization of intellectual property, which is itself a stupid weaponization of law. But anyway, gamers review bombed Drug Dealer Simulator 2. It had a very positive rating. Now it only has a mostly positive rating, which is, I mean, it's got a lot of reviews, so it's quite a review bombing. This is weird to me because I don't understand why the Drug Dealer Simulator devs even thought they would, face some other type of response. Like, it's like Mario launching an investigation over whether Sonic infringed on it. It's literally like genre stuff. Like, I hate it. I really don't like this kind of thing. Moving on to number 8. So Inzoi, the sort of new kid on the block in the Sims arena, kind of taking on the big guys at EA. The developers Crafting got a little bit of a backlash over a bug that players discovered that allowed them to run over and kill children. Now, it was not an intended part of the gameplay. Children are just NPCs. You can run over NPCs. The children weren't supposed to be able to be killed, but apparently a bug makes it so that they are. A video sort of caught on, and Crafting responded saying this is highly inappropriate. We did not intend for this. And they released a patch immediately, like they got on it, just very quick. I would guess it's mostly because the game is rated teen, and, well, if they left that in there, it probably wouldn't be rated teen for very long. And they probably rely on the fact it's rated teen quite a bit for sales. I mean, it's got to be a big pain in the butt for people like this when something like that happens. I can't imagine personally being offended by it, but I can imagine parents being offended by it and restricting their children from owning or playing a game that, well, that's there. So hopefully that doesn't hurt them too hard, because they have a very interesting game that I do hope over the course of the next several years becomes a good game. It's not bad or anything, but interesting is probably the best I can call it right now. It's interesting with the bones of something good. I wish it a long life cycle. Hopefully it's not taken down due to something weird. At number 7, we found out there's a pretty significant internal rift between the Dragon Age and the Mass Effect people at BioWare. So, former BioWare writer David Gator had told us that BioWare operated as two distinct teams, one for Dragon Age, one for Mass Effect. These teams had pretty distinct cultures, and they also, more importantly, didn't get along. So EA has apparently continued to play favorites also. I get why they would be sort of not happy with each other. EA likes Mass Effect a lot more, probably because Mass Effect consistently does well, or did at least. Even the crappier latest Mass Effect did pretty well. Dragon Age, on the other hand, it sold good, and if its budget was like half of what it was, I think they probably would have thought that it did quite good. But these are AAA games. They have to have the biggest budgets of all time, and that's stupid. We've talked about that recently, actually. Anyway, so Dragon Age the Veilguard did not meet expectations, and there have been pretty significant layoffs in BioWare, and the Dragon Age people got hit harder. Gator said basically, the teams don't like each other, and it's clear why. Like, let's say you were a parent and you played favorites with your kids. Your other kids would bully the favorite kid. It's that simple. And then the favorite kid would dislike the other kids too. Everybody would dislike. You don't do that as a parent. It's a bad idea. At number 6, Sony has a bad refund policy. They came under scrutiny for it. Their policy, you see, stipulates that game purchases are only eligible for refunds within 14 days, provided the game has not been downloaded or streamed. Once a download begins, refunds are typically denied regardless of playtime or satisfaction. This obviously led to a bit of a surge in player grievances, especially because of how shitty the PlayStation Store is. You know how it's just populated with shit? Like with basically scam games, more or less, that mimic popular titles and through what is essentially false advertising, lead unsuspecting users to purchase games that don't meet expectations. And forget the scam element of it, though. If a game doesn't meet your expectations, you should be able to return it. You should be able to return a game that, like, you buy and you think is bad. Obviously within limits. It used to be like a 30-day return policy for big box stores and stuff, but I don't know. What would be weird is if they actually did anything about it. They've caved to pressure in the past, so keep it up. Keep it up, folks. I guess it would be weird if gamers won repeatedly. I would like that, though. At number 5, a congressman claims that free healthcare encourages young men to play video games instead of working. Oh, yeah, because working gets you healthcare. Actually, let me even go ahead and say having healthcare gets you healthcare. Like, sarcastically speaking, you can have a healthcare policy, but I don't know if you've ever fought with an insurance company over making a claim. It ain't fun. But the congressperson, I don't think understood how angry that would make various people. Firstly, healthcare advocates, they didn't like that. Labor economists also didn't like that. And also people who like video games didn't like that. Why? Well, gaming is an expensive hobby. You don't just get to play games. You have to work for the money to get the games. Yes, there are kids that get games when their parents buy them, but I don't think we're really worrying about sending them out into the job market right now. Gaming is something you get to do because you work, though. Having free healthcare would not affect that, especially with the new Nintendo Switch game prices that they're going to normalize, and every game is going to be $80, not just on the Switch. I generally don't try to focus on that aspect of the Nintendo Switch, but I know they're going to do it. I don't think that they can keep doing what they're doing in terms of game budgets and keep the prices low. The smart thing they could do is stop with the insane budgets so that you have to sell 10 million copies of a game for it to be profitable. That might be a good idea, but I resent being an insult to hurl at people to prevent them from getting health care. Moving on to number 4, hackers got into Star Wars Battlefront 2 and basically made it unplayable, which, doesn't sound that weird, but it actually prompted EA to collaborate with modders. So, hackers disrupted the game. They exploited some vulnerabilities that prevented players from spawning in the large-scale 40-player modes, right? Basically, effectively rendered these core game modes unplayable. This is Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, what ended up happening is that EA deployed a server-side fix that was developed in conjunction with Kyber, which is a community group that builds custom servers for the game. Like, on a unofficial servers for the game. Kyber issued a statement saying, "We can confirm that EA deployed a server-side fix to prevent some of the exploits from being used to interfere with official game servers." So, like, EA, of all companies, actually collaborating with the modding community is insane. You really know that Electronic Arts has fallen on black days when they do crap like that. That hack hurt them. Clearly, that hurt them. Moving on to number 3, Rise of Rebellion did not do well. So imagine leaving a renowned studio like From Software, known for the entire Dark Souls series, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Elden Ring, the Armored Core series, and for confusing people who are not in the know and only know the Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli. Well, that's what Japanese developer Hitaka did. After years of dedication, he released the game, which actually had over 40,000 wish lists prior to launch, which is pretty good. And it's an indie title. It's a Souls-like, and I don't know why, but the graphics remind me a lot of Final Fantasy XI, the first online one, not the second online one, and not the rework of the second online one. And whether or not that's what it reminds you of, a lot of people complain about the visuals, the animations, the narrative, and the fact that it's kind of just a real basic-ass Souls-like. Hitaka candidly admitted in a YouTube update that the game bombed completely, showing that simply coming from a big old studio, having some pedigree in terms of games you've worked on in the past, he's directly worked on Dark Souls games, you can bomb completely. At number 2 is the Baldur's Gate 3 devs think DLC is boring. So picture this. You dropped one of the most beloved RPGs in years, you're showered in awards, the internet worships your NPCs, and what does the world immediately scream? Where's the DLC? Hey, I haven't shoved enough money into your greedy pie holes, Larian Studios. Why won't you give me an opportunity to do that? Well, their CEO, Sven Vinke, said, hard pass. In an interview with GameSpot, he showed why he's garnering a reputation as a sort of chaotic good wizard guy. He just said that making DLC is boring and has no passion from the team. They're not making bite-sized expansions that could be making little missions or horse armor or whatever. And they said they're more interested in breaking new ground elsewhere. Like they're going to be doing updates and patches, which does actually change some things in the game. There's 12 new subclasses. And Vinke said, you want happy players, happy business, but also happy developers. Basically, if it feels like homework, they're not going to do it, which is super cool. I mean, not everybody can have a massive hit like Baldur's Gate 3, which basically allows you to do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean I don't like it when some developer does get that amount of money and does whatever they want. And finally, at number 1, a GTA San Andreas bug sends CJ 1.087 quadrillion light years into space. I mean, the Grand Theft Auto games are always chaotic, but thanks to the April 2025 Windows 11 update, that chaos has hit levels unforeseen by modern man. A 2-decade-year-old bug, a 20-year-old mistake, was discovered when players noticed a skimmer plane suddenly vanished. Modder, silent, that's what he's going by, investigated and found that spawning the plane would now launch CJ, the main character, 1.087 quadrillion light years into the sky. Turns out, Rockstar forgot to properly update Skimmer's vehicle data when porting it from Vice City, and it was treated like a boat in Vice City, and in San Andreas it was treated like a plane, which was its own thing. A Windows 11 patch just exposed this long-hidden oopsie, so now, like Katy Perry, CJ can be an astronaut without really doing anything. Get it? And a quick bonus for you, the TSA confiscated a Call of Duty Monkey Bomb figurine. You might already been able to figure out why, but it's made to hold a game controller. The TSA deemed it as a replica weapon, which is not allowed on flights. Smartly, people on social media called out how stupid it was because there is an inconsistency in allowing actual firearms if properly declared. But this is a toy, a piece of plastic shaped like a monkey. It's weird, but it's maybe dumb more than weird. It's pretty weird, too. That's all for this month. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter and book me on Cameo at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.